Good morning, students. In last class, we have discussed that is a central, that is a nervous system. In the nervous system, the mains are the neurons, the nerves, as well as the nervous organs which are presenting. Already I have studied a brief account of explained the neuron, where neurons are the structural as well as the functional units of the nervous system. So, and the nerves, there are three, these are the nerves where having a sheath of bundle fibers which are present in a sheath of the nerve fibers. These are white, thick white fibers, nerve white fibers which are present in a sheath of bundle sheath or nerve fibers in within a connective tissue. Then we can call that as the nerves. So, there are three types of nerves are presenting: sensory, motor, as well as mixed and nerves that have already we have discussed in the last class. Now, we are going discussing that is a central nervous system. So, in the central nervous system, here it consists of two main parts. One is called as the brain, and the second one is the spinal cord. So, these are the two type of these are the two parts where they are presenting in the central nervous system. So, in the central nervous system, there are two main parts. One is the spinal cord as well as the brain, where this brain and the spinal cord are helpful for the sensational, and also it helpful for giving perceptions to the all the parts. And also here the central nervous system will carries information from the body parts. From information is a process from body parts to the brain, and the brain to the from a brain to the body parts. So, that will be carried, that means the information is carried from body parts to the brain, that is carried by the sensory nerves, and motor nerves will carry from brain to the body parts, where they are helpful for the controlling the movements. Here these are helpful for the control of movements, as well as here it helpful for giving information to the organisms, that is here controlling the movements of the body. Not only controlling the movements, here it gives a response to the stimulus. It gives a response to the stimulus. It gives a response to the stimulus or stimuli. So, here the controlling the movements of the body, from body parts to the brain, from brain to the body parts. Here it helpful for the controlling and a coordination of the organisms. That controlling and coordination will be taken place by the central nervous system. Not only that one, here it gives a response to the stimulus will be taken place by the central nervous system. And in this central nervous system, there are two main parts already studied. One is the brain and a spinal cord. So, here a brain is protected by the brain is protected by a structure called as the brain. This brain is protected by the protective structure called as the cranium is called as, that means otherwise here it is also called as the brain box. It is also called as the brain box, or otherwise we can call that as the cranium. Why? here brain box means brain is protected by a protective layer that is called as a skull. It is made up of a skull where it is protective, that is called as a box like a structure. It is presenting that a box like structure which is presenting, which protects the brain. Such part we can call as a cranium. So due to the protecting of the box, that means brain is protected by a specialized box that is called as cranium. So due to this, here humans are also called as humans, or mammals are called as the mammals are including humans. Mammals are called as the craniata. They are also called as the craniatas. Why they are called as craniata means, here the brain is protected by the specialized a box like structure. The brain is protected by a specialized a box like structure. That box like structure we can call as the cranium. So the cranium which is protecting a box like structure. So due to the presence of the cranium, here humans are also called as, or mammalians are also called as the craniators. They are also called as the craniators. And also here the spinal cord. The spinal cord is protected by the within the vertebral column. It is protected by a vertebral column. That means inside the vertebral column, the spinal cord is presented, where it enters from the end of the brain, that is from medulla oblongata to the, it passes to the vertebrates up to the second lumbar region, or second lumbar vertebrates that will be enters into the, through the vertebrate, it passes to and up to the second lumbar regions. It transferred from first vertebral to the last second lumbar region. So this is where the brain is protected by a specialized box that we can call as a cranium. So due to the presence of the cranium, here humans or mammalians are also called as the craniators. And also the spinal cord is also helpful for the is protected by within the vertebral column. Inside the vertebral column, here the spinal cord will passes from first vertebrates into the second lumbar vertebrates that will be enters. So this is where protected by a brain as well as the spinal cord. Why they have to protect means these are the two important organs which are present in the central nervous system, where these are helpful for the controlling and coordination. These are helpful for the controlling as well as the coordination, and also the controlling the movements as well as coordination, and also will shows a response to the stimulus will be taken place with the help of these two structures that are present in a central nervous system, such as a brain as well as the spinal cord. So here not only protecting the brain and spinal cord by the cranium or vertebral column, there are other protective agents or other protective structures are presenting. So that what are the other protective structures means, here one is called as the meninges, and second one is called as first one is a meninges, and second one is the cerebrospinal fluid, and a third one is a gray as well as the white matter. So these are the three coverings, protective coverings which protected by the as well as the brain as well as the spinal cord. So what are that? Now will discuss the one by one will be discussed. Now coming to the protective coverings. So here the brain as well as a protective coverings. So here brain is protected, brain as well as the spinal cord is protected by a protective coverings. So there are three type of protective coverings. One is called as the meninges. First one is a meninges. First one is the meninges. First one is meninges. Second one is the cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid. And the third one is the gray and the white matter. So these are the three protective coverings which is surrounded by the brain as well as the spinal cord. So here coming to the first one, that is the meninges. So here a meninges is a protective coverings which is taken place. These are the meninges. These are the protective coverings, or a protective covering. These are the protective covering of the brain and the spinal cord. Not only means the brain and spinal cord is protected by a cranium as well as the vertebral column as well. Along with this, here it is protected by a protective coverings. Such protecting coverings which is surrounded by the brain as well as the spinal cord we can call as a protective covering. In this first one is the meninges, where the meninges it is classified into three types. It is classified into three types. It is classified into three types. One is called as the dura mater. First one is dura mater. The second one is suborchinoid membrane. Suborchinoid membrane, and the third one is the pia mater. So these are the three protective coverings. These are the three protective coverings which are presenting in the meninges, where these are classified into three type of layers. These are classified, differentiated. These are classified or differentiated into three layers. The three layers are, the first one is called as dura mater, and the second one is called as suborchinoid membrane, and the third one is called as the pia mater. So here dura mater, so it is an outermost, it is an outermost, a tough and elastic layer. It is outermost a tough elastic layer which is surrounded by skull as well as the vertebrae. It is an outermost a tough elastic a protective layer which is surrounded by a skull and vertebrae. The skull and the vertebrae. So such type of layer which is an outermost a tough and elastic layer which is surrounded by the which is as tough and elastic layer which is attached or which is surrounded or which is attached to the skull as well as the vertebrae. They are attached to the skull and surrounded by skull, and vertebrae are attached to the skull as well as a vertebrae. So such membrane it is called as, layer is called as a dura mater. Next, second one, subarachnoid membrane. It is the membrane, membrane which is presenting between, present between dura mater. It is present between dura mater as well as the pia mater. It is presenting between the dura mater as well as the pia mater, where it consists of a network of cushion-like structures are presenting, a network of cushion-like structure, a cushion-like structure. It is a network of a cushion-like structure where it is presenting between outer pia mater as well as inner pia mater, and also it is separated the space, that is it is separated by the space called as a dural space, and also it is presented in the subarachnoid membrane or subarachnoid space. It is presenting between outer dural space and inner subarachnoid space. These are presenting. So such type of layer where it is presenting between outer dura mater as well as inner pia mater, where these two structures will having a network of a cushion-like structure is presenting. That network of cushion-like structure which is presenting we can call as a subarachnoid membrane, where the subarachnoid membrane is differentiated outer dural space. It is separated by outer dural space. Dural space means from dural matter it is divided. So that space we can call as dural space, and the space which is present above the pia mater, so we can call as subarachnoid space. It is presented. Next, coming to the last one. So here pia mater, it is an innermost region. It is an innermost region where it is presenting. It is an innermost layer which is presenting in the brain as well as the spinal cord. It is an innermost transparent. It is a transparent vascularized membrane. It is an innermost transparent vascularized membrane which is presenting. It is a vascularized membrane or layer which is presenting inside the brain as well as the spinal cord. That means it is innermost region where it is transparent and it is vascularized. Vascularized means a rich amount of blood supply will be taken place. So that will having a rich amount of blood supply which is taken place. So that we can call as a vascularized layer or the membrane where they are present inside the brain and the spinal cord. Not only present in brain and spinal cord, here these pia mater also present in the ventricles, the cavities, as well as they are present in brain as well as spinal cord and also the cavities and also the ventricles. The ventricles are the cavities. Inside the cavities are ventricles. Here these ventricles means the cavities which are present inside the brain and spinal cord, that is covered by the pia mater. Here ventricles means not heart. The walls of the heart is not presenting. They are ventricles here. The ventricles of the brain means the cavities which are present in the a brain and spinal cord. So such type of structures are called as a cavities. So such type are called as ventricles. The ventricles are differ from a heart to the brain. Here in heart, the walls of the heart are called as, that means the lower two chambers are called as ventricles. But in ventricles of the brain means the cavities which are present in the brain and spinal cord, they are called as the cavities. So these are the three layers. That means not only present in brain and spinal cord, inner membrane of the cavities also. Here inner membrane of the cavities of the brain and spinal cord is also lined by the a pia matter, which is a transparent as well as a vascularized layer. Vascularized means having a rich amount of blood supply is taken place. So these are the three layers which are presenting in the meninges, where first one is dura mater, second one is the suborganoid membrane, and a third one is the pia mater. So these are the three types of membranes which are presenting in the meninges. Next, coming to the second one, that is called as the cerebrospinal fluid, that we can call as the cerebrospinal fluid. So what is that? Now we will discuss. Now coming to the second one, that is the cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid. It is the second one is the cerebrospinal fluid, or otherwise it is called as a liquor. It is also called as liquor cerebrospinalis. Cerebrospinalis. It is also called as that means cerebrospinal fluid is also called as a liquor cerebrospinalis. So here it is the fluid. It is a fluid. It is a fluid present. It is a fluid present in a brain and a spinal cord. It is a fluid present in the brain and a spinal cord. We can call as the cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebro means brain, spinal means spinal cord. The fluid which is presenting in between the brain and the spinal cord. So such type of fluid is called as the cerebrospinal fluid. Not only present in the brain, and it is also present in suborganoid space as well as cavities of brain and spinal cord. These are presenting. It is present in the suborganoid space. It is present in suborganoid space. The ventricles of a brain and a spinal cord. The brain and a spinal cord, suborganoid space, as well as brain and the ventricles of brain and a spinal cord. And it is here it consists of a 150 ml of the cerebrospinal fluid. It consists of the 150 ml of the cerebrospinal fluid, which is an alkaline in nature. It is in an alkaline nature. It is presence of an alkaline, which is it consists of how much of the cerebrospinal fluid is presenting means in the brain and spinal cord means here it consists of 150 ml of the cerebrospinal fluid is presenting in the brain as well as the cavity that are present in the suborganoid space as well as ventricles of brain and spinal cord. This fluid is presenting and which is in an alkaline in nature. It is in an alkaline nature, and also it consists of proteins a glucose, and also consist of some salts are presenting. It consists of proteins. It consists of proteins, a glucose and salts are presenting, such as sodium, potassium, chlorides. All these are presenting, and here this cerebrospinal fluid which is presenting here. That means here it consists of proteins, a glucose, as well as the salts are presented, and also it is a continuous forming of, and also here a continuous in a network of capillaries are presenting, a continuous network of capillaries are presenting. They are called as cardioflex. So what is a cardioflex means? The continuous, it consists of a continuous of a network of a capillaries are presenting, that a continuous network of capillaries which are presenting. So such type are called as a cardioflex, where they are arise from the suborchid space into the ventricles of the brain and a spinal cord. These are presenting. So these are these are a continuous a network of a capillaries are taken place, where they are presenting extending from a pia mater into the suborchid space, that is from a suborchid space to the pia mater, or pia mater to the suborchid space. These are extended. So such type of blood capillaries which are extended from the pia mater to the suborchid space, so such type are called as a cardioflex. So here this is where we are coming to the functions of the cerebrospinal fluid functions. So here first one is it acts as the shock absorber. It acts as the shock and absorber. Absorber means it is a fluid where it gives a definite frictionless movements. That means here it gives a definite the friction. That means here it gives a definite the pressure. It gives a definite pressure. That means pressure free from the skull and vertebrates, where it acts as a shock and absorber, and also it gives a frictionless movements will be produced. It gives a frictionless moments are taken place. Frictionless moments are taken place of the brain and spinal cord, and also here it helpful for the exchanging of materials. It helpful for an exchanging of materials. These are helpful for the exchanging of materials like glucose, as well as that means glucose, as well as here exchanging of respiratory gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide from the from a brain and spinal cord, that is oxygen is diffuses and carbon dioxide will be taken outside, so that will be accessed, and also it acts as an excretory organ also. That means here excrete, here it helpful for exchanging of materials, gases, as well as the waste collection of the waste materials are taken place, that will be acts as the cerebrospinal fluid. So here it performing three functions it performs. What are that three functions means? The first one is it acts as the shock absorber, where it gives a definite frictionless, that is not frictionless, it gives definite friction from the, it gives indefinite friction from the definite friction from skull and the vertebrae. That means free of pressure from the skull as well as the vertebrates, where they are protected by the brain and spinal cord from the pressure of the vertebrae and skull. And also here a frictionless movements are produced. And also here it helpful for the exchanging of materials like the glucose, like like a glucose, and the exchanging of gases and excretory waste materials, etc. So these are the where we can take in place the functions of the cerebrospinal fluid, and also here it consists of 150 ml of a cerebrospinal fluid, which is an alkaline in nature, and also it is called as a liquor cerebrospinalis. It is a fluid like a substance which is presenting in between the brain as well as the spinal cord, and also the ventricles of the brain and the spinal cord, and also present in a subarachnoid spaces. So such fluid where it protects the brain and spinal cord from external shocks as well as frictionless movements, and also exchanging the gases and exchanging of materials. So this is where that is taken place by the cerebrospinal fluid, where it is presenting between both brain and the spinal cord. Next, coming to the third one, that is called as the grey as well as the white matter. So coming to the third one, so in cerebrospinal fluid the exchanging of materials are taken place between the blood and the blood vessels, that is blood and the nerves, the exchanging of materials are taken place, and the third one is the grey and white matter. So in the grey and white matter in the central nervous system, due to the presence of the nerves, where they takes the matter of grey and a white matter, due to the presence of the nerves we can differentiate the grey as well as the white matter. So here why we can call as a grey matter means here in a grey matter here it consists of the cyton and dendrites, and unmyelinated axons, and axons are presenting where in the cyton, the nucleus which is presenting, it gives a grey color for the nucleus and also the dendrites. So due to the presence of the grey color nucleus, the nucleus is stained by a grey color, and also they are surrounded by the dendrites are consist of a grey color. So due to the presence of these we can call as the grey matter. And the white matter, here the white matter means the white matter. So here white matter means it consists of the myelinated, neurons, so where they appears a white color, so these are called as the grey matter. That means due to here the nucleus of cyton will appear as grey color, so that not only along with the nucleus and dendrites are also appears grey color. So due to this matter is called as grey matter. And white matter, it consists of myelinated neurons or myelinated and axons. Here neurons are an axon. So here consists of myelinated axons where there appears as a white color. So due to the appearing of the white color, this matter is called as the grey matter. So here grey and white matter, how we can differentiate it means here we can easily identify it in a brain. Here the grey matter will occupy, grey matter is present in the surface area surface area. The gray matter is present surface area or outer surface and the white matter and the white matter is present in inner surface. So here in the brain, here it consists of the gray matter is presenting the surface area. Surface area means outer surface of the brain. Here it is surrounded by the gray matter, where here it consists of outer surface mainly consists of the cytons and dendrites are presenting, where they appears as a gray color in nature. So we can call as a gray matter. And the white matter axons, that means here myelinated axons are present inner surface of the brain they are presenting, so it appears as a white color. So inner surface will consist of a white matter and the surface area or outer surface is made up of a gray matter in the brain. And coming to the in a spinal cord, so in spinal cord, if you see in here the white matter or otherwise the gray matter present in inner surface. Gray matter will present inner surface and the white matter present in outer surface or surface area So here due to these, that means here in spinal cord the gray matter will present inner surface it is presenting, gray matter is present inner surface and white matter is present on the outer surface or the surface area, where they are in gray and white matter in spinal cord and a brain. In brain and spinal cord, the gray and white matter are presenting opposite to the one another. In brain, the gray matter is outer surface and white matter is inner surface. In spinal cord, the gray matter will present inner surface and white matter is presenting outer surface, where these are the two opposite, that means the gray and white matter are presenting in opposite directions in the brain as well as the spinal cord. And coming to the next one, so these are the three protective layers which is surrounded by the brain as well as the spinal cord, along with the a cranium or vertebrates. It also protective. The three structures, one is called as meninges and the second one is called as the cerebrospinal fluid, and the third one is the gray as well as the white matter. Now coming to the structure of the brain. So that structure of the brain, briefly I will explain how this structure is presenting. Now coming to the structure of the brain. Structure of a brain or cranium. Structure of a brain. So here, or otherwise we can call this as a cerebrum also. Cerebrum. Structure of the brain or the cerebrum, where here it is divided into three regions. It is divided into three regions. So one is called as a forebrain, midbrain, midbrain and the hindbrain. So here the brain is divided into three regions. The three regions are one is called as forebrain, a midbrain and the hindbrain, where the forebrain is differentiated into two regions. One is called as a cerebrum. First one is called as a cerebrum and the second one is called as a diencephalon. It is called as the diencephalon. And again the midbrain is differentiated into two regions. One is called as the the first one is we can call as cura cerebri, cura cerebri and corpora quadrigemina. So cura cerebri as well as the corpora quadrigemina, and the hindbrain is differentiated into three regions. First one we can call as a cerebellum. It is called as the cerebellum. It is called as a cerebellum. Second one is called as the pons orale. Second one is the pons orale, and the third one is a medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata. So these are the three regions. So here the forebrain is differentiated into two regions. One is called as a cerebrum and diencephalon, and the midbrain is differentiated in two regions. One is called as a cura cerebri and a corpora quadrigemina, and the hindbrain is differentiated into three regions. One is the cerebellum, second one is the pons orale, and the third one is a medulla oblongata. So these are the three regions where it is differentiated the structure of the brain, that is briefly. So in a next class, we'll discuss a detailed structure of a brain, that is how it is divided into forebrain, midbrain and hindbrains, and also the functions of each part of the brain that will be discussed in the next class. So this is where that is called as this is the class of the central nervous system that is mainly present in the brain and a spinal cord. So that will detail, that is in next class we will discuss the structure of the brain.